My sister's 31F husband, 43M, keeps trying to flirt with me, 23F. So a few months ago I had surgery, nothing complicated, but we had family members come in and check on me after work. At first she would come with him, but then the last week I was there he came alone as her work was holding her behind. Here are the things he did that made me suspicious. 1. In one instance he tried changing my IV bag even though the nurse said she would do it, and he stuck his crotch in my face. Even the nurse gave me a look of concern. 2. One time he kept calling me good girl because I did my therapy stuff. To me good girl is IDK. My ex would call me that during sex and it was a turn on. So that word is so creepy coming from him. But okay, maybe I'm overreacting on that one. 3. Another time he told me how beautiful he thought I was, but when I gave him the crazy look he said how his sister was prettier than me. Just enough to be uncomfortable for me. I told my sister about instance 1 and 3 and she said that I was likely overreacting but that she would talk to him and she was defensive and I just dropped it. I didn't tell her about number 2 as I'm probably just exaggerating. Yesterday was our parents' 30th anniversary dinner, and in side talk he asked if I liked older men and how older men are great for women etc. I just kind of evaded his question. I prefer men 28 and below personally. Anyways, these are all things that in themselves may not be aha moments, but this man is creeping me out honestly. I noticed him checking me out yesterday, maybe him just seeing things IDK. TL. DR. Creepy family member. Next time answer his question, loud enough for others to hear. No, I don't ever think about dating some creepy old guy. Anyone over 28 is not attractive to me and too old for me. Or something like that. Dude is currently getting away with being an absolute asshole because others aren't witness to his shitty behavior. Dudes like that usually need to be embarrassed into stopping. Avoid being alone with him. I hope others catch on soon. Good luck. I agree with above about loudly responding every time he makes a comment. Protect yourself by never being alone with him if at all possible. Enlist others. Do you have other siblings? To ensure you aren't stuck sitting next to him. He is a creep. Your sister is in denial. Nor, this dude is trying to get with you. Has anything changed with your sister physically or emotionally in the past year or so? If so, that may be what is pushing his pea-sized brain to try and go for you, but either way it's pretty fucked of him. You have instincts for a reason. Trust them. Number 2 is for sure not okay. You're an adult and you read that right. He should not be saying that to you at all. He's pushing your boundaries to see what you will or will not put up with. Maybe your sister's talk will put him on notice, but if he keeps it, call him on his shit and tell your sister and the rest of the family while you're at it. How old was your sister when they got together? Was she about your age? Any guy who used that "do you like older men" line are always creeps. They use that line to see how far they can get their foot in the door. Be careful. I would not trust him. He is a creep. No more politeness for him. If he tries to speak to you privately, just say no while walking away. Whatever he says, the answer is no. Your next words to creepy family member. And #X200B. Dude, knock it the FUKC off, you're being super creepy and you're grossing me out, get the FUKC away from me. And #X200B. And every time after that, if he persists, get the FUKC away from me. Be angry, get pissed, be loud and don't be ashamed or scared to call his ass out in public or around other people. Do not be alone with this guy. If you ever drop by to visit your sister and she's not there, wait in your car or leave. You're not just seeing things. Your sister will side with her husband because she chose this person as her life partner. She could very well be proud of having made such a good choice in finding a husband like him. Therefore, anything you say which criticizes him would bruise her ego and pride. Continue to monitor the situation and where possible, avoid being alone with, or overly nice to, the creep. Don't laugh at his jokes and keep it to a cool icy smile if needed. Make it really clear through subtle actions on your part that you're just being polite and actually think he's an idiot. He could be here for the long haul with your sister. In the meantime, you need to stay safe. Don't ever stay at their place if the opportunity arises because he will definitely, accidentally, walk in on you in the shower etc. It's a shame you didn't answer his question. If he brings up the topic again, you say, I have zero interest in men much older than me. I think it's absolutely disgusting the way older men will prey on young women. Any man who is in his 30s or older and is looking at women in their early 20s clearly has something seriously wrong with him and should be getting therapy, not dates. I'd be so grossed out by a man much older than me. And yeah, what he is doing is not okay. Unfortunately, you can't just take him to the vet to be neutered. Avoid him as much as you can. Ask his question out loud, e.g., what do you mean do I like older guys? If anyone 40 and older hits on me, I would think, God, what a creep and an asshole. I prefer guys closer to my own age, not my dad's. If he brings up liking older men again, tell him you don't, and that when your sister married him you worried that 12 years was too much of a difference, but if she is happy you try not to judge. How old was your sister when they married? Sounds like she's reached her expiration date with this dude and he is trying for another woman in her 20s. Oh hell no. Be like, hey man, I see what you're trying to do, you've been making little comments to me a lot that are creepy. I can't wait to tell my sister. Get some mace and start taking some kickboxing lessons and let him know that too. Nope. Creepy. Tell him he's making you uncomfortable with his comments and questions. Set the boundary. And also, your sister is in denial. I'm guessing if she checked his phone she wouldn't like the material. If he's shameless like this to hit on his sill, I would seriously bet he's cheating already. Phosphorus monosulfide. I'm sorry your sister didn't believe you. If something like that happened with my sister it would be investigated immediately and the guy would, like your Bill, would be kicked out so fast, he wouldn't even see it coming. Call him out when these things happen in the moment. If he says something inappropriate to you, ask him loudly why he said that. Flat out tell him, what you just said is making me uncomfortable, you need to stop. And then walk away. Op should journal his pervy interactions. Date, time, what happened and the crowd that was present. So technically he is old enough to have a daughter his wife's age. Almost to have a grandkid your age. Mention this. Lead to it asking if they are ready to have kids. You're not overthinking, too, lol. That's exactly what he was going for. Internet hugs and external validation. He's being a creep. What do you mean by that? Or, that's an odd thing to say, said loudly will help train him to behave. You can also suggest he ask his wife what she thinks about that. Creeps like him want their victims to feel like they can't defend themselves because it would make things awkward. That's a lie. The creep is making it awkward, you'd just be making it awkward for the creep. Could you ask your mom to observe how he interacts with you? Your brother-in-law is being inappropriate to say the very least. The good girl might get a pass from me, but the rest, he's being a creep. You've alerted your sister if she chooses to see what he's doing, but sadly she may not know what to do any more than you do, as of yet. If he tries the "do you like older men" gambit again, you could try responding, if you're trying to fix me up with one of your friends, the answer is no, I only want to date men my age. If you're asking for yourself, the answer is hellno, I would never consider you even if you weren't married to my sister. WTF. It's concerning that he's flirting with his sister-in-law at all. It's more concerning that he's 20 years older than you and doing that. It's even more concerning that he escalated when you were in the hospital and unable to get away. Until your sister sees him for what he is, don't ever be alone with him. If he makes a side comment with other people around, loudly say, boundaries. And keep your friends away from him. Trust your gut. You're having these feelings for a reason and he's given you enough cause to avoid him. Do not be alone with this man under any context. Sometimes it's good to be straightforward. I know what you're doing and I'm not, nor will I ever be interested. None of your business is a good answer. Call out his bad behavior in front of people when he does that. Assertively, and vocally. Don't say gross stuff like that to me, Bill. Give me personal space. You are making me uncomfortable. My sex life is not up for discussions. Keep doing it, he will back off when he realizes you are not an easy target. No, I actually don't like older men. In fact, I think it's creepy when a man hits on a much younger woman, don't you? I agree. Answer with a screwed up look on your face and a very loud, dude, WTF. No, you're not imagining things. This guy is a creepo. His behaviors toward you were disgusting. You didn't overreact. Stay safe. Time to start fighting fire with fire. A very audible, God, you're a creep. Get away from me. The next time he so much as stands too close to you, should start doing the trick. What's he going to do? Get a divorce because you weren't nice to him? Tell your family you're being weird. Tell them he's being weird and needs to leave you the hell alone. I guarantee you, other people in your family have seen things. You have zero obligation to protect his reputation. As you can see from all the comments here, you've got good instincts. Listen to them. This guy wants to sleep with you and that's incredibly abnormal given the age difference and that he's your sister's husband. Don't let him claim, it's a joke, or, I wasn't serious. No normal guy in his position says things like that. You've got to get ahead of this before he starts lying, maybe he already has, to protect himself by claiming that you've been flirting with him. Tell not only your parents but your friends. Ideally, if you have an opportunity, tell her friends but frame it as a question. Hey, have you noticed this guy getting flirty with you? He sounds like a predatory asshole. Your poor sister is in denial. Do not be alone with him. And call him out loudly if he makes other stupid remarks. Good luck. Okay, obviously he does not give a crap about your sister and he is being super skeevy. If you really want your sister to listen to you, get it one camera, if not stay away from him and let her find out herself that he's a POS, because shush is not just going to take your word for it. Yeah, definitely sus and not uncommon. IDK how your relationship with your sister is, but I would try to bring it up again. If you don't think she'll respond well, then either talk to him directly or wait till he says something that can't be excused, I guess. Or just avoid them more if you can. I'm not really sure how to handle this one. He wants to cheat with you. Keep your distance. Trust your instincts. You are not overreacting. The IV thing is disturbing. He's definitely got the hots for you. Does your sister know about your private business with your ex, the good girl thing? If she did, then she probably had told him. Never be alone with him. He's a creep and the next thing he will try is to feel you up. When he asks you an inappropriate question, go immediately to your sister, and or whoever else is around, and say, hubby just asked me X, how should I respond? Call him out every time he says something. Don't hide his behavior. This is not your shame, it's his. Your gut is always right. Next time he asks an appropriate question, say, out loud if others are present, why would you say that? Train in kickboxing. Then challenge him to a friendly sparring match at the local gym. As soon as he's in the ring, clock him in the jaw. Boom. No felony charge. Closing parenthesis. Tell him directly that he is making you feel uncomfortable. Something like, some of your comments and actions have caused me to feel very comfortable in your presence. I prefer that we keep our conversations and interacting to a minimum from now on. Without number 3 and the ask about liking older men, I'd have considered 1 and 2, bad at helping but ultimately innocent. In entire context though, all of the behaviors are creepy. It's okay to make a scene. I will say it again. It's okay to make a scene. We are raised to not make a fuss and to be polite at all times, especially if someone makes us uncomfortable. Fukake that. It's okay to say, I'm uncomfortable with what you just asked me. Or, you're making me uncomfortable. Please move away. Do not be alone with him. I know it will feel weird at first, but practice makes perfect. I hate to say it, but this may cause an issue between you and your sister. It is also okay to sit her down and say, look, he's making me uncomfortable. I have no interest in him. None at all, but all the little things add up. She'll be mad, but a little will go in. Your sister doesn't want to believe you because it would mean facing that her husband is no longer attracted to her and is now sexually harassing her younger sister. But you sound like you're reading the situation 100% right. What a fucking weirdo. Next time this creep asks you this question, tell him out loud that you're not interested in taking care of old people. If ever feel the urge, I would rather be a nurse. Make sure always reply to him in loud voice so people around you can hear. He's doing that because this creep has type, which is girls under 30, and your sister is 31 now. Him calling you good girl is a creepy and really bad thing. It is mostly used as either in sexual way, or to one's own child, like, oh look at you, you're such a good girl, now finish your food or take your medicine, etc. Yesterday was our parents' 30th anniversary dinner, and in side talk he asked if I liked older men and how older men are great for women, etc. Next time, pretend you can't hear him and ask him to speak up. Just keep asking him to repeat himself until someone else hears him or he just gives up.